We had a Game 7. Donovan Mitchell, a chance to make the conference finals for the first time in his 9-year career here. So
What's funny is normally we have two opposing players.
Yeah.
No, it was all Cavs.
It was all Cavs. That's exactly right. And the question is Jarrett Allen the Cavaliers' secret weapon here?
I had dinner with Dan Gilbert last night. He came over to our hotel. He goes, you know who the key to this whole thing is? I was thinking Harden, Mitch. He goes, the key to this whole thing, the spark of this is Jarrett Allen. I said, really?
Yeah, you've heard of Game 6 Clay. Now you've heard of Game
7
Jarrett Allen. Exactly right. Evan Mobley.
Stretch the floor, big fella.
Yeah, knocks down the three as the shot clock expires there. And then the final seconds of the first year, Chanae Mitchell pushing it up the floor.
Spider-Man, Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo.
All open on a Sunday for him. Crazy shot there. 2 minutes into the second, Mitchell drives.
Diamond.
Gives it over to Mobley. I love that you're just like a backup singer. So Diamond,
Ad-lib.
Vibin, Allen. Mitchell racked up 8 assists.
Sam was
by the way.
Sam was hooping.
Yeah,
Yeah, he really was. The Cavaliers, they just dominated in this game. The blowout win for the Cavs, by the way, it sets up the first time in a playoff series that we've seen two teams come off 30-point wins. However, of course, the Knicks, they did it 2 weeks ago. It was 2 Sundays ago, 7 days before Cleveland closed out their series against Detroit. And Mitchell, he was asked about how he's feeling reaching his first conference finals.
A breath of fresh air, but like you said, we didn't just come here that wasn't the goal when we started the season. Even last year, when we lost Indiana, we had our goals set on getting to the finals, and we're just one step closer. But yeah, it's been almost a decade of running into the same issue, right? You know what I mean? So sure, I personally and as a team, we can breathe a little bit, but in the same token, we can only breathe for about 12 hours and then get right back to it.
Would rather not have a 9-day break. You're in a good rhythm, and then obviously you got to kind of just sit there and wait and those kind of things. So, I don't know. Ideally, if it was a 3 or 4 day break, that would be nice.
Yeah, Danny, it's sort of the rest versus rust conversation there.
It could be, a blessing. It could be a curse. For me, shout out to producer Jaron. He showed me we had 7 days off when we were the Spurs in 2012.
Okay.
We won our first 2 series sweep. We had 7 days off.
Yeah.
My first game, I was 0 for 6. So, even though he's showing some good shots here that I made some, the rest was great, but it's great for the older guys. Like Manu, he needed it. He came in, he balled out. Steven Jackson, of course, Timmy, Tony, those guys were well. For me, it took some time. Game 1 was close for us. We played better in Game 2, but it takes some time to get that rust off. Luckily for the Knicks, they've been rolling. They have a lot of pieces. And I trust that they will keep it going.
That was against Perk. How was he in that?
Perk was decent. Producer Jaron also showed us he was a minus 17.
Wait, who?
I think Perk was a minus Game 5 when they won.
Oh my gosh!
But other than that, Perk was pretty good.
Putting our guy less. Also, that was a very kind edit from our producers. You're saying you're 0 for 6, and they're just showing all makes here. But ultimately, going back to the Knicks and the Cavaliers, it was a twisty, windy path, but ultimately these are the two teams, I think, Chanae, that we thought were going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals midway through the season.
Commercial break, we were like, yes, we've got conference finals, and I think we've got two teams playing excellent basketball. Yeah. This will come down to 2 things. Let me start with the first. The first 40 minutes will be dictated by the battle in the paint, because those guys are truly the X factors, the surprise factors. Let's start with Karl-Anthony Towns. We're witnessing his renaissance, his renovation, because he is shooting 62% from the floor in the last series. Excellent, but he's not pressing. More importantly, 7.5 assists per game versus the 76ers. That is what is making New York separate. That's what's helping them elevate. Now, on the other side, for the New York Knicks, it's interesting because when you think about the tandem, Mitchell Robinson versus the Cavs, in 2 games, he had 16 offensive rebounds in just 36 minutes. So the diversity of post players is going to be important going up against a Mobley, going up against an Allen. But Karl-Anthony Towns scoring, but more importantly passing, has given their offense more versatility. And Mitchell Robinson, he got one job to go out there and just be a beast on the boards. I know that Cleveland's riding high. Game 7 Allen, Evan Mobley looking like the guy we expect him to be. So it's going to be very key to see how New York handles that fervor from that.
And you would think that it's going to be probably Evan Mobley, right, on Karl Anthony Towns, because what the Cavaliers like to do, they like to put the other big, like Jarrett Allen, on who? Josh Hart. And let him sort of sag off of Josh Hart, dare him to shoot, and then roam a little bit. But what does that do? That means that Dean Wade or maybe Max Strus is going to be on Jalen Brunson?
Yeah, that's a mismatch all around. I don't think Cleveland has anybody that can guard Jalen Brunson in this series. That's where it comes in. You know, Cat, you have Evan Mobley. If he plays two-way like he's played in that last series against Detroit, he can kind of somewhat neutralize Carl Sabonis, as you would say. Like, he's out there playing like Arvidas Sabonis. But when it comes to Jalen Brunson, you have Donovan Mitchell, you have James Harden. Like, they're decent size, but Jalen Brunson's too quick. He's too crafty.
He's strong.
Max Strus, again, Dean Wade's got size, but he's not foot speed enough to keep up with Jalen Brunson. So this is going to be a tough matchup for them in terms of Jalen Brunson, but everybody else, I think they can kind of match up with.
And that's why I said the first 40 minutes will be the paint. The final 8 will be a shootout. And it's going to be cool because Donovan Mitchell, we've seen him have a 39-point second half, and Brunson, a former clutch player of the year. So, yeah, it might be more offense.
Right, and the Knicks offense has been humming as of late, right? And good news for the New York Knicks. Mike Brown, he said in practice today, according to our friend Ian Bagley, that their guys, OG included, was a full
Gugwa. There you go.
I learned that today, that OG's first name is Agugwa.
Agugwa.
That's his full first name. All right, shall we pour one out for the Pistons over here? Let's take a listen to Cade, JB Bickerstaff, looking back at their season.
JB, just you guys took a step last year, take another big step this year, playing at home, Game 7, especially what you just done in Cleveland. How big of a disappointment?
It's not a disappointment at all. I'm not ever will I be disappointed in these guys. These guys every single day give us what they got. So it is not a disappointment. It's a loss, and it's a tough loss. But that adjective will never be used as this group.
So the Pistons now, they turn to some important questions this summer. Jalen Duren, he's a restricted free agent. He didn't have the best postseason. Tobias Harris, Kevin Huerter, they are unrestricted free agents as well. And then next summer, they have decisions to make on Asar Thompson, Danis Jenkins. They will be restricted free agents. So a whole lot of decisions coming up for the Pistons. But we move on. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. It's right here on ESPN tomorrow. Cavaliers-Knicks. It tips off at 8:30 Eastern. An NBA tip-off gets the night started. That's at 7. Also streaming on the ESPN app. And we are hitting the road as well. Getting on planes right after the show. Danny, Janae, you ready?
Did we upgrade our pictures yet? I feel like finally they upgraded yours a little.
I look a little scary here. I'm not going to lie. Amon,
Me
Wendy,
too.
Perk, Shams.
I'm like,
we are staring down the camera. All right.
Absolute greatest. And tonight we got a Game 7 in the NHL between the Canadiens and Sabres, and that has been obviously spectacular. Now, Game 7 last night for the NBA, kind of ass. Kind of ass. Congratulations to Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Wow. Down in Detroit, in 2 best words in series sports, Game 7, and smacking them around for 4 straight quarters and basically taking all the excitement and exhilaration out of a 7-game series in one night where they go into Detroit, in D-Town, and go ahead and smack them around. Congratulations, first time in his 9 years that he's been with the Cavs. Obviously, they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. First time without LeBron James that the Cavs have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals since like 1990-something or something like that. So congratulations to the entire city of Cleveland. We got a lot to celebrate over there. Todd Monken's going to bring the Browns up.
Yeah.
Little fudge.
Brownie, Brownie.
Little fudge. The little
the Keebler
thing,
elf, yep.
Yeah, the thing that does it for the Browns. He's rolling, so good for the Cavs. Sucks for Detroit. But we got a Game 7 tonight in the NHL, and we got a Game 1 in the Western Conference Finals between an alien and an MVP.
Yeah.
Wemby, SGA. Chet Holmgren. About time now. Okay, this is the time for the American alien to kind of do his thing on the biggest stage against a person that is potentially going to take over all of sport over the next 5 years because of how tall he is, obviously, how dynamic he is, and what he has done to basketball as a whole. Alongside a cast of characters that understand what their deal is. This Spurs team, obviously incredibly tough. The Oklahoma City team, wildly deep. This is a dynasty run that they're in the middle of. And SGA is now just getting comfortable winning MVPs. He's got gifts for all the boys just on deck.
Yep,
hey, here's rollies. Here's a bunch of this. Here's this going on. The Oklahoma City Thunder team is very comfortable with who they are. They know who they are. They're an MVP team. They're a championship team. Can they get through this alien? It starts tonight. This is gigantic. Tonight is going to be a battle of the Goliaths. I know the NBA playoffs have obviously been spectacular, up and to the right. There's been some blowouts like last night how Detroit let us all down.
So bad.
And that entire thing. But this is kind of what we've all been looking forward to on the West here. Spurs in this young team, upstart team, that has a guy that has never been seen before, taking on a team that is basically doing it in their own way. I mean, they got a lot of pizzazz in this Oklahoma City team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of dancing from that team off the court. They got the most pizzazz in history. And they smack people around.
Yeah. Crush them.
I mean, they beat the shit out of these people. Yep. So congrats to them. Cannot wait to watch that tonight. It'll be on NBC. Joining us today in about 28 minutes or so, Mike Tirico.
Really? Nice. No way.
Yeah.
Mike.
He'll be on the call.
Hey, Mike.
It'll be great to chat with him.
Thank
Schefter
you.
will be joining us here in a matter of moments. Eric Johnson, Stanley Cup winner, formerly of the Avalanche, 18 years in the NHL, will join us in the second hour, obviously, because massive night tonight. And then Shams Charania will join us in the second hour to talk about the integrity of reporting.
Yeah.
And what he needs to be doing and he needs not to be doing.
Sure, that's right.
Has the MVP been leaked by an NBA insider basically every year for the last 100 years?
No chance.
No, that's where you'd be wrong.
No way that's ever freaking happened.
I think it has happened before.
Nope.
I don't know. We'll find out. He is senior NBA insider. I don't know how you get this information. Okay, who won? I think it's from like a accounting firm, the people that do
Probably.
it. Ernst and Young or
Yep,
whatever.
yeah, that's right.
Are they the ones that he won't give us his sources, but we will ask him directly. How'd you find out? And if he did find out, isn't that his job? I don't know. But some people say it's not your job.
No.
It's disgusting. Not for that one.
We'll find out. We'll see what Shams has to say. Blake Griffin